Hello and hi friends, welcome to my video on Ramappa Temple Part 2. First of all, let me thanks all the subscribers and viewers of my channel for your overwhelming response and support for Part 1. With your support, I have came up with the Part 2. I have covered the interior part of the temple, especially the carvings on the pillars, roof, and other interesting features of this temple which cannot be visualized with naked eye. Let's start the journey. This temple was built between 1173 to 1213 AD, and it took almost 40 years to complete this magnificent temple. The temple was built by the great Kakatiya Dynasty, and the mastermind behind the temple was the chief commander Mallayudda. Ramappa was the chief architect or the artist of this temple. That's why the temple is known by his name, Ramappa Temple. On 25th July 2021, the temple was inscribed as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Special thanks to Government of Telangana, Tourism Department, Mulgu District Authorities and Temple Authorities, UNESCO for their effort and support to develop this temple as a great historical site. The great feature of Indian Hindu temples is that besides they are the center of worship and devotion, they are also center for art, science, architect, astronomy, dance, trade and culture. There are three entrances for this temple, and we are entering the temple through the main entrance located opposite to east direction. Look at the bottom of left and right side of the entrance. There are two rows of elephants on either side of the entrance. The right side elephant row leads the devotees into the temple, and the left side leads the devotees to outside the temple. And there are 526 elephants carved on either side of the entrance. Well, elephants were one of the important contingent of army in those days. Elephants were also used to carry and lift big rocks, boulders and stones and other material during the construction of temple, monuments and forts. I think as a mark of gratitude to the elephants for their services, these elephants were carved on either side of the entrance. Every Indian temple has 4 to 5 main structures in it. The first one is the entrance, which will lead to the gathering hall, that is called Mandapa, and Mandapa will lead to Antarala, and Antarala to Garbhagriha or main sanctum, where the deity of the temple is situated. Now we are in Ranga Mandapa or gathering hall, in front of this main sanctum or Garbhagriha. This temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva, Sri Rudreshwara Swami. So the temple is called as Sri Rudreshwara Temple also. Let's take the darshan first. Ranga Mandapa or Sabha Mandapa is a central gathering area in front of the main sanctum of the temple. Most of the stones, bowls, pillars in this area were disturbed. It's said that this temple area was hit by a massive earthquake during the 17th century. Most of the structures, temples in around Ramappa temple were affected because of the earthquake and they were collapsed. Yet this temple is not much affected. Kakatiyas used sandbox technology to construct this temple. Sand was the main material used as a basement. Sand absorbs primary and secondary vibrations that generated from the epicenter, and sand will minimize the effect to the main structure. Yet, see the floor, most of the pillars, beams, bolts were disturbed or submerged. Thanks to Archaeological Survey of India, after taking over this temple, they have made a lot of renovation. Now the temple is in a good shape. Sunshine enters Ramappa temple from three directions, and there are four black basalt rock pillars in the middle of Sabha Mandapa, which reflects the natural sunshine into the main sanctum, and that's how the temple is illuminated. Well, as there was no electricity in olden days, they used this black basalt rock pillars to illuminate the temple. Albedo is the term used to measure the amount of light that is reflected from a surface or a rock. Maybe black basalt rock is having high albedo, that's why it was used inside the sanctum to illuminate the temple. Music, dance, sculpture and literature were highly patronized by Kakatiya Dynasty. Well, there are four inner black basalt rock pillars in the center of Natya Mandapa or Ranga Mandapa. Beside these four pillars, there is a round elevated rock platform in between these four pillars, where dance, music recitals were performed by the great artist in front of a main deity. Rich carvings from mythological epics of Ramayana, Mahabharata and Mahabhagavata were carved on these four pillars. Black basalt rock is a hard black volcanic rock rich in iron, silica and magnesium. Basalt rock is a hard material and a diamond edge is required to cut and carve it. Moha scale is a unit to measure the hardness of rocks and materials, and this scale measures from 1 to 10. The diamond occupies 10th position on Mohs scale, whereas a basalt rock occupies at 8th position. Well, there were no cutting materials like lathe machines in olden days. Then how the ancestors carved such a mind-blowing carving on such a tough rock like a basalt rock? Well, this is a missing link which need to studied extensively, and some research work has to be done. How our ancestors have carved such a wonderful carvings, sculptures on black basalt rock. This black basalt pillar is the first pillar in front of main Garbhagriha on left side. Look at on the right side of this pillar. There are 13 small pinholes were carved on the bracket of the pillar. These holes are 13 in number, and they are so small that only a small needle or thread can pass through these holes. I was told that the number 13 indicates Trayodashi, and Trayodashi is one of the auspicious days for Lord Shiva. But what I was surprised at is that only 13 pinholes were carved by the artist, though there was enough space available on this pillar. Another thing about 13 number is that 13 indicates the 13th century as per Gregorian calendar, and during 13th century this temple was flourished. This sculpture is about Gopika Vastrapaharanam. Lord Krishna in the middle and Gopikas on either side. This sculpture describes about the Narakasura Samharanam by Lord Shiva. This sculpture is carved on main connecting beam on the top between first and second basalt pillar towards the main gate. Well, Tripurasura means three demons, Tarakaksha, Vidrunali and Kamalakshi. These three demons are sons of Narakasura. Lord Shiva killed these three Tripurasuras on Kartika Purnima on a special chariot with special weapons. This sculpture is about optical illusion. There are three figures in the middle with only two pairs of legs instead of three pairs. If we cover any two figures out of three, the third one looks like intact. This is called about optical illusion sculpture. This type of illusions can be seen in many of Hindu temples. This sculpture is about Kakatiya Samharanam. Gajasura was an elephant-shaped demon and was killed by Lord Shiva. This sculpture is about Samudra Manthanam, in which gods and demons on either side churning the milky ocean with a mountain called Mandara and a serpent god Vasuki to get the Amrut and become immortal. This sculpture is about Narakasura Vadha. Narakasura was killed by Devi Satyabhama as Lord Krishna was injured during the battle. Deepavali festival is being celebrated to commemorate this story. The roof is made up of red sandstone and in center Astadikpalakas and other mythological stories were carved. After covering four black basalt rock carving beam and a roof, now we are in front of the main deity in Ranga Mandapa. The main deity is in Garbhagriha and we are in front in Ranga Mandapa. Well, again a black basalt rock is used to carve the main entrance with rich carvings. Well, there are four interesting carvings to be seen on a main entrance. The first one is four female Dwarapalakas on either side of the main entrance on lower half of main entrance. The second one is Pyrini Dance is carved on either side of the main entrance. The third one is Lord Krishna holding a music pillar is carved on left side of the main entrance on lower half. And the fourth one is Padma Torana is carved on top of a main entrance to Garbhagriha. Please remember, don't miss these four main features. These are the center of attraction of this temple. Well, Ramappa temple complex is spread over 2 acres of land and there are 4 to 5 temples, monuments, structures can be seen in this temple complex such as Kamasutra temple, Kakatiya temple, Nandi temple, Shilatoranam and the Pakashala. The ruins of Kamasutra temple can be seen on the southern side and now the Archaeological Society of India is preparing to reconstruct this temple complex. Pakashala is next to that. Pakashala means the place where prasada was prepared every day for the main deity. These two black stone structures are called as Somasutram, which are on north side of the temple. Well, Abhishekam is being performed to Lord Shiva with water, milk, curd, honey, sugarcane during rituals. The structure Somasutra is a stone structure for every Hindu temple which serves as a passage for the Abhishekam water to outside the temple. Kateshwara temple is on north side of the main temple, which was built in the name of father of the commander Rudra. The original old floating bricks are still seen today on Kateshwara temple, whereas fabricated floating bricks were used from Pune during renovation of temple top in 1914. This Ramappa temple has received the World Heritage Site Award by UNESCO because of technologies used to construct this temple, such as sandbox technology and water floating bricks used to construct the top of the temple. Well, the outer wall of a main temple is made up of red yellow sandstone and granite stone with rich carvings on the top and bottom. The top row is occupied by a series of Gajakesari statues and Madanikas made up of black basalt rock. In the middle there are four rows. The first row is occupied by rectangular flowers followed by statues of gods. The third row is again of flowers, and the last row is a series of elephants. Let's explore one by one. In the middle, giant Tirthankara statues can be seen. Kamasutra is written by great Indian philosopher Vatsayana during 2nd century. This epic is about love making, art of living well, nature of love, taking care of love life. Some of the sex positions are also carved on the outer wall of main temple. Well, this is the statue where I got stuck up. The statue is of Egyptian Pharaoh on the wall of temple. This indicates that there was a trade relation between Kakatiya Dynasty and Egyptian Dynasty. The approximate distance between Egypt and India is about 5,000 kilometers. Well, Marco Polo, an European traveler, also visited Kakatiya kingdom during Rudramadevi period, but by the time the temple was constructed. Madanikas are the statues of slim females with rich ornaments. These statues are 12 in number and made up of black basalt rock with great polishing and finishing. There are 3 entrances for a Ramappa temple and 4 Madanikas can be seen on either side of each entrance on the top. There are different names for each Madanika like Nagini, Ragini, Manini and Mandakini. Each Madanika has a distinct facial feelings and expressions with different dressings and ornaments. Gajakesari statues are made up of black basalt rock. There are 28 Gajakesaris, but out of which 2 were destroyed. Now they are 26 in number. They can be seen on outer wall of main temple beside Madanika statues on top row. Each Gajakesari statue is a mythical figure of lion on the top, a soldier in the middle and elephant head on bottom. Gajakesari was the emblem of Kakatiya Dynasty. So friends, that's all about Ramappa temple and its heritage. Thanks for watching my video. Please post your comments on my video channel. Thank you very much.